Okay. Before we begin the board meeting as required, we will first have a public hearing on the 2021-2022 budget. Roll call, Mrs. Thomas.
Trustee Dawkins,
Here.
trustee Purcell.
Here.
Trustee Washington,
Here.
trustee Roman,
Here.
trustee Heiferman,
Here.
Mayor Holfeld.
Here. Mr. Bubanek, the presentation of the 2021-2022 budget in summary.
Thanks, Rich. Tonight's public hearing will just be an update on what we talked about with the draft budget discussion at the Villages Board April 13th meeting. Of course, our general fund receives the most attention, and that's because it kind of defines what local government's all about. The general fund is reliant on taxes from sales, real estate, places for eating tax, utility tax, and state shared income tax. The expenses are dominated by the costs of public safety and public works. Last year's COVID-19 budget had a major effect on us. Our revenues were reduced, so we had to cut expenses. Our plan was in future budgets to bring some of those expenses back as our revenues rebounded. I think we're able to do many of those this year. The revenue data this past year was not as grim as expected. For example, sales tax, but there were other smaller revenue sources that either disappeared or were dramatically reduced. So it was kind of an offsetting picture on the revenue side, but it did allow us to bring back some of the expenses that we cut out in last year's budget. The draft budget that you saw on April 13th had a deficit of $172,604. Based on adjustments since that meeting 2 weeks ago, we now have a surplus of $75,516. Those changes are listed in the attachments that you have for tonight's meeting. Our fund balance policy recommends 3 months of fund balance on hand. We are 2.7 months, so this will add a little bit to that fund balance. In closing, I wish to thank the citizens and businesses for choosing Homewood as a place to work and a place to live. The Village Board for its ongoing direction for our village provided services, the departments for working within a limited revenue picture, but still providing the services that their departments need to provide. Village Manager Jim Marino for his day-to-day efforts of directing our village operation, and Assistant Finance Director Amy Zukowski, who calculates and keeps countless worksheets, etc., in line so that we can have a budget like this to present tonight. Staff recommends the Village Board approve the final 21-22 budget and pass the budget adoption ordinance listed on the board's April 27th consent agenda. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Bubanek. Mrs. Thomas, any written comments
Not on this, no.
with regard to the public, the budget?
No.
Okay. Any comments from the public with regard to the budget? Board comments. Trustee Dawkins.
I'd just like to thank you, Dennis, you, Amy, and the rest of the staff for presenting, as usual, such a well thought out and easily discernible budget. I remember last year when we were, well, we weren't, when you all worked hard to make adjustments in light of what was then a new pandemic. And I look at us now and really didn't think we would be in such a firm financial position. So I thank you for your continued efforts and your hard work, which, you know, I feel like I say the same thing every time we have the budget, but it needs to be said every time. Just thank you very much.
Trustee Purcell.
I echo all the thank yous for everything that you guys do. We're in a much, much better place than a lot of other areas are because of what you guys all put into this. And I thank you very much for that.
Trustee Washington.
I have nothing new to add. Thank you so much.
Trustee Roman.
Same here. I don't have anything additional to add, but thank you all very much for your hard work.
Trustee Heiferman.
Just to echo the other trustees. Thank you.
I'd like to compliment Mr. Bubanek and the staff and Mr. Marino. When we last talked about it, we had a deficit. We're now having a $75,000 surplus for the upcoming budget year, primarily through cost reductions. Very nice job. With that, may I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So
So
moved.
moved. Second, Heiferman.
Been moved by trustee Purcell, seconded by trustee Hyperman to adjourn the public hearing. Roll call, please.
Trustee Dawkins,
Aye.
trustee Purcell,
Aye.
trustee Washington,
Aye.
trustee Roman,
Aye.
trustee Hyperman.
Aye.
We stand adjourned, and we will now convene the regular board meeting of April 27th. As allowed by Governor Pritzker's executive order, this meeting will be conducted on premises and via Zoom. Roll call, please.
Trustee Dawkins,
Here.
trustee Purcell,
Here.
trustee Washington,
Here.
trustee Roman,
Here.
trustee Hyperman,
Here.
president Hofeld.
Here. Representing staff this evening, to my left, our village attorney, Chris Cummings, to my right, our village manager, Jim Marino. Also on Zoom is our Public Works Director, John Schaefer, and Finance Director, Dennis Bubanek, and Assistant Finance Director, Amy Zakowski. The minutes of April 13th, any additions or corrections, trustee Dawkins,
None.
trustee Purcell,
Nothing here.
trustee Washington,
Nothing.
trustee Roman,
Nothing.
trustee Hyperman.
Nothing.
May I have a motion to approve the minutes, please?
So moved. Purcell.
Second, Roman.
Been moved by trustee Purcell, seconded by trustee Roman. Roll call, please.
Trustee Dawkins,
Aye.
trustee Purcell,
Aye.
trustee Washington,
Aye.
trustee Roman,
Aye.
trustee Hyperman.
Aye.
The minutes are approved. The claims list in the amount of $492,493.87. Any comments? Trustee Dawkins,
None.
trustee Washington, excuse me, trustee Purcell,
Nothing.
trustee Washington,
Nothing.
trustee Roman,
Nothing.
trustee Hyperman.
I have nothing.
May I have a motion to approve the claims list, please?
So
No.
moved. Dawkins.
Second, Roman.
It's been moved by trustee, was it Purcell? Dawkins.
Dawkins.
Trustee Dawkins, seconded by trustee Roman. Roll call, please.
Trustee Dawkins,
Aye.
trustee Purcell,
Aye.
trustee Washington,
Aye.
trustee Roman,
Aye.
trustee Hyperman.
Claims list is approved. Of that $492,000 claims list, two items comprise the majority of that list. Our payment to the state of Illinois for our portion of the repaving of 175th Street from Ashland to Halsted, which was done a year ago, was $112,000. And a sales tax sharing agreement for the Best Buy Plaza, that amounted to $230,000, $342,000 of that claims list, or 70%. Hear from the audience. If anyone in the audience would like to address the board on any subject not on the agenda, please raise your hand. If not, at this time, may I have a motion to approve the reappointment of Emmett Cassidy to the firefighters pension?
You got comments?
I'm sorry.
That came in. The clerk's office, does the village clerk have any comments that came in?
Did you have, I'm sorry, go right ahead.
I had three comments come into the village comment line. One was regarding the proposed budget. One was regarding a change for garage sales. And the third was a comment regarding the return of Angela Maceros to staff. Those all were sent to the trustees before the meeting.
Hey, thank you. At this time, may I have a motion to reappoint Emmett Cassidy to the firefighters pension board for a 3-year term? May I have a motion, please?
So moved. Purcell.
Seconded, Washington.
Been moved by trustee Purcell, seconded by trustee Washington. Roll call, please.
Trustee Dawkins,
Aye.
trustee Purcell,
Aye.
trustee Washington,
Aye.
trustee Roman,
Aye.
trustee Hyperman.
Aye.
The reappointment is affirmed. Resolution R 3074, if you would please read it, please.
Resolution R 3074, a resolution honoring William Alcott on his retirement from the Village of Homewood. Whereas William Alcott began his career in law enforcement in 1990 at the University Park Police Department and later transferred to the Linwood Police Department. Having achieved the rank of Detective Sergeant in Linwood, he then joined the Homewood Police Department on February 24, 1998. Whereas William Alcott received his Bachelor of Science degree in Law Enforcement Management in 2008 and his Master of Public Safety Administration degree in 2010 from Calumet College of St. Joseph. And whereas William Alcott was assigned to the Criminal Investigations Unit as a detective from 2000 until 2008, when he was promoted to the rank of police sergeant. During his tenure in the Criminal Investigations Unit, Detective Alcott was a driving force in successfully locating and charging the offender in the homicide of 17-year-old Kenneth Hellstrom, a case which had gone unsolved since 1977. And whereas William Alcott graduated from Northwestern University Traffic Institute School of Police Staff and Command in 2011, and whereas William Alcott was appointed to Deputy Chief on May 10, 2010, and appointed as Chief of Police on March 12, 2016. And whereas William Alcott is a member of the South Suburban Association of Chiefs of Police, the Illinois Association of Chiefs of Police, and the International Association of Chiefs of Police. Chief Alcott also served on the board of the South Suburban Emergency Response Team. And whereas William Alcott has received numerous awards and commendations during his career, including the Illinois Association of Chiefs of Police James J. Wade Most Outstanding Police Officer of the Year for 2007, meritorious awards from the South Suburban Association Chiefs of Police and the Cook County Sheriff's Police, as well as the Homewood Police Department Exceptional Service Award. And whereas William Alcott is respected and held in high esteem by Homewood police officers, the village board and staff, professional peers, and members of the community for conducting himself and representing the village of Homewood with the utmost concern for integrity, fairness, service, and professionalism. And whereas William Alcott retired on February 26, 2021, after 23 years of dedicated service, his service to the police department and the citizens of Homewood is hereby recognized. Now therefore be it resolved by the President and Board of Trustees of the Village of Homewood that William Alcott be honored and commended for 23 years of outstanding dedicated service to the citizens of Homewood. On behalf of the citizens of Homewood, the board and President of the board hereby extend best wishes to Chief Alcott in his retirement.
May I have a motion to approve this resolution, please?
So moved, Purcell.
Second, Dawkins.
Been moved by trustee Purcell, seconded by trustee Roman. Roll call, please.
Trustee Dawkins.
I will vote aye, but it's in protest because I don't want Chief Alcott to retire. But if I don't have the choice of him staying, then I will vote in favor of this. We'll miss you, Bill.
Trustee Purcell.
Yeah, she took the words right out of my mouth. We will miss you. I hate to see you go, but okay, yeah, sure.
Trustee Washington.
I feel the same way, but I think I'm just gonna go on and say no anyway. What the heck? No, my vote is aye.
Trustee Roman.
I also thank Chief Alcott for all of your service, and I'm sad to see you go, but aye.
And trustee Heiferman.
Congratulations, Chief Bill.
And your vote?
Yes.
He's
Oh,
not by. Congratulations to you. The resolution passes. We wish you everything good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have a speech because I'm not good at them. Just want to thank the officers, the village staff, and the board for allowing me to be the chief of police and the citizens of Homewood. I love y'all.
Thank you. And in with the new. Chief McGrath, if you'd come up to be sworn in, please.
Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I I, Denise McGrath, having been appointed to position of Chief of Police for the Village of Homewood,
the position of Chief of Police for the Village of Homewood,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the ordinances of the Village of Homewood,
and the ordinances of the Village of Homewood,
and that I will complete my duties
and that I will complete my duties
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability. Thank you all very much. I greatly appreciate the opportunity given to me by the village board, all of the trustees, the officers in the Homewood Police Department, and of course, the citizens in the village of Homewood. It was a great honor for me, and I look forward to serving all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And now for the Deputy Chiefs of Police, Robert Meisner and Kelly Strayer.
Well, if I could first have Bob Meisner
Oh,
up
I'm-
here, I'd like to give a little introduction, if that's okay.
We'll go right ahead.
Thank you. Robert Meisner began his career in the Homewood Police Department in November of 1997, having previous experience as a police officer in the village of Linwood and in the United States Air Force. During his career in Homewood, DC Meisner has been appointed as a field training officer, a detective, an acting watch commander, a range officer, and most recently as detective sergeant. DC Meisner was also the founding member of the Homewood Police Association and was vice president of the board for 5 years. Many of you don't know that the Homewood Police Association annually awards a $1,000 scholarship to a Homewood resident who is a high school senior who embodies a commitment to public service. DC Meisner earned his Bachelor of Science in Law Enforcement Management from Calumet College of St. Joseph in 2008 and completed the Northwestern University School of Police Staff and Command in 2018. This fall, Deputy Chief Meisner will be attending University of Illinois in Chicago to obtain his master's degree. He's all yours, Mrs. Thomas.
You want Kelly?
I state your name.
I, Robert E. Meisner,
Having been appointed to
having been appointed to
the position of Deputy Chief of the
Position.
Home. Deputy Chief for the Village of Homewood Police Department.
being appointed to the position of Deputy Chief of the Village of Homewood Police Department.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United
that
States,
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the municipal ordinances of the Village of Homewood,
and the municipal ordinances of the Village of Homewood,
and that I will discharge my duties
and I will discharge my duties
to the best of my
to
ability.
the best of my ability. Thank you.
And next, if I could have Kelly Strayer. Kelly Strayer began her career with the Homewood Police Department in August of 2007, having previously served as a police officer for the Village of Hazelcrest. During her career in Homewood, Deputy Chief Strayer has been appointed as a field training officer, a hostage negotiator for the South Suburban Emergency Response Team, CPR instructor, and field training coordinator. Most recently, she has served as the patrol sergeant. Deputy Chief Strayer also served on the Homewood Police Association for 11 years as the secretary and was the driving force behind the HPA golf outing, which has allowed the association to continue the scholarship program. Deputy Chief Strayer attended Governor Strait University, where she earned her Bachelor of Arts in Criminal Justice in 2007 and her Master of Arts in Criminal Justice in 2013. Deputy Chief Strayer completed the Northwestern University School of Police Staff and Command in 2019.
I state your name.
I, Kelly Strayer,
Having been appointed to
having been appointed to
the position of Deputy Chief for the Homewood Police Department,
the position of Deputy Chief to the Homewood Police Department,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the municipal ordinances
and the municipal ordinances
for the Village of Homewood,
for the Village of Homewood,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
of Deputy Chief.
of Deputy Chief.
Congratulations.
Okay, we got one more. Stephen Brandenberger. Stephen Brandenberger began his career with the Homewood Police Department in November of 2010, having 4.5 years of prior police experience. During his career in Homewood, Sergeant Brandenberger has served as a tactical officer, a range officer, an in-service training instructor, and most recently was appointed to the task force investigator with the Department of Homeland Security. In 2018, Sergeant Brandenberger organized a department fundraiser for the Cancer Support Center, which in 30 days raised more than $23,000, and Steve was the top individual fundraiser for that as well. Sergeant Brandenberger has been the vice president of the Homewood Police Association for the past 3 years. Sergeant Brandenberger earned his Bachelor of Arts in Criminal Justice from Governor State University in 2014.
I state your name.
I, Stephen Brandenberger,
Having been appointed to
being appointed to,
the position of Sergeant for the Police Department of Homewood,
being appointed to the position of sergeant for the Village of Homewood,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the municipal ordinances of the Village of Homewood,
and the municipal ordinances of the Village of Homewood,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties as sergeant
the duties as sergeant
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Chief, she would like a picture of the four of them together. Congratulations, y'all. You all can stay if you'd like. Mrs. Thomas, the consent agenda, please.
The board is asked to approve a proclamation marking April 30 as Arbor Day in the village. The board is asked to approve the appointment of Devinus Bubanek as village treasurer. The board is asked to approve ordinance M 2180, approving the 2021-22 village budget. Board is asked to approve renewal of the limited scavenger business licenses for Midway Building Supply of South Holland, Tri-State Disposal of Riverdale, and Total Disposal of Gary, and scavenger licenses for Homewood Disposal, Allied Waste Transportation, Inc. of Chicago Heights, and Waste Management of Lombard. The board is asked to approve ordinance M 2181, ratifying all actions taken at the April 13 board meeting. The board is asked to award work for tree services to two contractors, Homer Tree Care, Inc. of Lockport for tree and stump removal in the amount not to exceed $90,000, and award a bid to Winkler's Tree Service of LaGrange for sectional tree trimming, spot trimming, and emergency tree removal for an amount not to exceed $78,000. The board is asked to award a contract for concrete flat work to White Line Construction Company of Chicago for an amount not to exceed $126,000. The board is asked to award a contract for bituminous asphalt mixes to D Construction of Coal City in an amount not to exceed $35,000. The board is asked to award a contract for custodial cleaning for 4 village buildings to Bravo Service of Chicago for an annual amount not to exceed $24,600. The board is asked to award a contract to Bright's Cartage of South Holland for crushed limestone in an amount not to exceed $44,750. The board is asked to approve the renewal of a contract for uniforms for the public works staff and floor mats in village buildings to Aramark Uniform Services for a cost not to exceed $35,870. The board is asked to renew the contract for street sweeping services with Illinois Central Sweeping Service of Tinley Park for a cost not to exceed $55,070.92. The board is asked to renew a pavement marking contract with Traffic Control Company of South Holland for a cost not to exceed $100,000. The board is asked to waive competitive bidding and award a contract to Meany Electric of Hazel Crest for an amount not to exceed $28,000 for electrical upgrades at the Homewood Science Center. The cost is substantially lower than the estimate of nearly $200,000 due to the village staff working in partnership with the Homewood Science Center Board, Meany Electric, Inc., and the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers for donations of material, support references, and in-kind services. The most substantial cost savings comes from the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, who have generously offered volunteer labor through the union's apprenticeship work.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from anyone in the audience? If not, board comments? Trustee Dawkins.
None.
Trustee Purcell.
I have nothing.
Trustee Washington.
Nothing.
Trustee Roman.
Nothing from me.
Trustee Heiferman.
I have a question about item D. When do the current licenses expire for scavenger operators?
April 30th.
Dennis.
Okay. And I know that's, that's looming. The concern I have, and this is something that I've meant to bring up in the past and I just failed to, that is the recycling opportunities for those who live in multi-unit buildings. I can't say I've had complaints. I've had one complaint from a person over and over about the lack of opportunity to recycle. And he says it's because of the scavenger company, not the management of his building. Is there any thought on that? And is it something that we could ask them to address?
Mr. Marino could talk to Homewood Disposal, who covers most of the village of Homewood, and get an answer for you.
Sure, we can do that.
All
Okay.
right, thank you.
And I would just like to reiterate the comments made with regard to the upgrading of the electrical system for the Science Center. I can't say enough about the cooperation that the IBEW has made toward the Science Center. It really is a very nice gesture on their part. With that, may I have a motion to approve the items on the consent agenda, please?
So moved, Purcell.
Second, Dawkins.
Been moved by trustee Purcell, seconded by trustee Dawkins. Roll call, please.
Trustee Dawkins,
Aye.
trustee Purcell,
Aye.
trustee Washington,
Aye.
trustee Roman,
Aye.
trustee Heiferman.
Hi.
The consent agenda is approved. New business, discussion for a liquor license request. Mr. Bubanek.
In your packet tonight is a letter from Riviera Cantina, 18102 Martin Avenue. A lot of you know it as Vita Taco, but now going by Riviera Cantina, requesting a liquor license for that location. This license will be limited to beer and wine only, and it is a Class 7B license. It requires seating for at least 50 patrons. So we'll be looking to eliminate that as they can't hold 50 in there. A Class 7B license is a 75-25 beer and wine only. On-premise consumption, primarily engaged in serving food. No more than 25% of the licensee's gross receipts over a 12-month period shall be from alcohol sales. Presently, Portillo's Hot Dogs is the only holder of a 7B. Staff recommendation, if the board desires to consider this request, staff should be directed to prepare the appropriate ordinance to grant this request at a future board meeting with following changes, increasing the allowed number of Class 7B liquor licenses and eliminate the minimum seating requirement.
Any comments from anyone in the audience? Board comments, trustee Dawkins,
None.
trustee Purcell,
Nothing.
trustee Washington,
Nothing.
trustee Roman,
Nothing.
trustee Heiferman.
I have nothing.
With that, may I have a motion to direct staff to bring this ordinance forward to the board?
So moved. Roman.
Second, Purcell.
Been moved by trustee Roman, seconded by trustee Purcell. Roll call, please.
Trustee Dawkins,
Aye.
trustee Purcell,
Aye.
trustee Washington,
Aye.
trustee Roman,
Aye.
trustee Heiferman.
Aye.
Motion is approved. General board discussion, trustee Dawkins.
I don't have anything.
Trustee Purcell,
I'm all good, thank you.
trustee Washington,
Nothing for me.
trustee Roman.
I do have a question. I was just curious off of one of the comments that we got, if there's a reason why we only have 2-day permits for the garage sales and why we can't extend that to 3 days.
Well, over the years, some people have turned it into kind of a business. So we put the 2-day limit on there so it wouldn't become a business. It would just be that once a year type of event.
That makes sense. Is there any reason why we can't make it 3 though? For like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday sale? The only reason I bring this up is because I've heard this a few times and then we got that comment. So people would want to have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday sales. I understand not having like a whole week.
It would be a change to municipal code. I guess that's it, to go from 2 days to 3 days. So
Okay.
If that's something the board wants us to consider, we can certainly do that.
Okay.
Trustee Heiferman.
I have no issue with extending the garage sales to 3 days. First of all, congratulations to the new police department leadership. This coming Monday, I'll be at the Starbucks on Harwood from 5:30 to 6:30 in person, nicely distanced. And anybody who's written a letter, I've received a mountain of correspondence. And if anybody really wants to speak directly, that's where I'll be.
Thank you. With that, may I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So move, Purcell.
Second, Roman?
And moved by trustee Purcell, seconded by trustee Roman. Roll call, please.
Trustee Dawkins,
Aye.
trustee Purcell,
Aye.
trustee Washington,
Aye.
trustee Roman,
Aye.
trustee Heiferman.
Aye.
We stand adjourned. Thank you all.